Hello, I am the artist known as DEROSNEC, and welcome to my weekly vlog where I talk about making music, art, movies, and more. Last week I talked about bartering and how you can use your time and skills to help get projects done when you don't have much of a cash budget available. This week I want to share a few more ideas with you through a case study of how I made the video for I Am Mandrake's Jupiter's Hollow. Please keep your hands and arms inside the spacecraft at all times. First, some quick background. During my time in Vancouver, I sang with quite a few bands in between working on my solo music. Most of them didn't pan out, but there was one in which I came into as a featured singer, and it was one of the most productive and creatively fulfilling live projects I've ever gotten to be a part of. I Am Mandrake was the project of Jerome Mandrake, a talented songwriter and performer who teamed up with producer Soan Ray to make upbeat and flashy electropop tunes. I worked with them for almost 2 years, singing backups and featured parts. And we played quite a few live shows around town, including 2 huge, fully produced epic ones which were super fun. Just after our first show, Jerome wrote a song called Jupiter's Hollow, and wanted to start putting together a new show around a space cruise theme. I really dug the song, and being the video artist I am, I convinced him to let me put together a music video. We had just spent all of our money on a big live production, so finances were pretty tight. In Vancouver, I didn't have a garage studio like I do here in LA, and renting a space would have been prohibitively expensive. So I got creative and worked on figuring out how I could turn my living room into a spaceship with stuff that I happened to have lying around the house. We actually had a pull-up bar that Terrence had hanging from the edge of the living room, which we sometimes used as a curtain hanger for when guests were visiting us. So I took this black Model M banner and hung it up there. La, so sparkly! Then I dug up these stick-on LED lights that I had left over from my stalker video. They're cheap, AAA battery powered, and can go just about anywhere, so I filled them up and strategically placed them on the curtain. I now had an interesting, modern, and interactive backdrop. Both of us had a number of amazing makeup artist friends in town that we could offer to barter with, but we were particularly lucky at this time because his boyfriend happened to be an award-winning makeup artist and offered to do our faces for free. And both of us being performers, we naturally have a lot of accessories and interesting clothing on hand for such an occasion. So really, this was the easiest part of the video. This was also before I had access to my own lights, and renting gear was out of the question. I laugh about this the most when I think back to filming this video, but as a bicycle commuter, I have some pretty bright LED headlamps which I brought off of eBay for like 30 bucks. So I took one of them and I duct taped it to a mic stand which I extended to its capacity. It worked great as a direct spotlight, and as a bonus, its color temperature matched the backdrop LEDs. Because we only had about 10 feet to work with, I really couldn't use my EX3 camera for filming. It's just too big. I actually considered using my iPhone to film, but I ended up using my Rebel so that I could switch lenses if I wanted to. In retrospect, I honestly wish that I had just used the iPhone. The quality ultimately would have been comparable, and I also would have had slow-mo options, but I digress. We spent a few hours getting made up and singing, and had a lot of fun filming that night. Before you knew it, we had a whole bunch of performance footage that cost us nothing. Even if I had bought all that gear fresh, with the exception of the Rebel camera, it would have cost under $100. We wanted this to be just a really fun and upbeat video without any particular story, just a cheesy outer space vibe. So I went on to Video Blocks, a subscription-based stock footage site, and had a look at everything that they had available. I already had a subscription for my freelance work, but honestly, if you see yourself wanting to do a lot of low-budget videos, then a yearly subscription really pays for itself in a short amount of time, and it's not a big investment in the long run. So I combined all the stock footage with the performance, then glossed it up with my own animation and text effects. Voila! We had a really fun and flashy video, which none of us directly paid out of pocket for, and that suited the song perfectly. Do you have any random things lying around the house that could be creatively repurposed to make an interesting setup for a video? What are you waiting for? Tell me how you're no longer going to make financial excuses when it comes to making a video in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up button below, it helps me more than you know. And join the Uncensored by subscribing to my YouTube channel, my newsletter, or by following me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you never want to miss a video, be sure to click the little notification bell icon too. Thank you so much again. I will see you next week.